I'm talking to you tonight, not necessarily about the news of the day, but the news of the decade. The things that have happened in the last decade and where we are headed as a nation. I asked you last night to tell me, what is the competing idea to statism, globalism, Sharia law, to Marxism? What is the competing idea? You'll say it's America. We'll get to that here in a few minutes. What I'm asking you to do now is to ponder the things that I have said over the last 2 years and shore yourself up, because there's a new approach coming that will encompass everything that we have worked on here, from the 9/12 Project to the 40-day and 40-night challenge to E4, which I introduced at the beginning of this year. It is not going to mean an end to protests, but I believe a fundamental transformation of the movement. It will not mean that you have to adapt your schedule, but transform your life. It will not be for the faint or half-hearted. It will require those who wish to become more than they are, or their country more than it is, or more than they currently believe they can be or their country can be, to become the lion-hearted, the giants that we spoke of there in the mall on 828. Those who have already started this journey towards greatness and true liberty, those who now walk the path to the bright side of history, those who hear the clarion call will center themselves in the values and the principles that built this country, but will feel pushed now to the edge of their comfort zone and pushed to the edge of society by those masquerading as centrists. You must be ready. I ask you tonight to double your efforts on E4, to know who it is you really serve, E1, enlightenment, to know history, E2, and the power of the individual, because the last one is entrepreneurship, to create something positive. I'm about to call on you. The country doesn't need any more followers, it needs leadership. Will you lead? I'm going to stop preaching to you every night. I'm going to start rolling up my sleeves and stand not here, but with you. And I invite you to stand with me. Together, we will be the refounders with our children. We will be the human chain guarding equal justice. And together, be the men and women of merit that George Washington called to service. George Washington implored the revolutionaries who fought against corruption and cronyism, the big business of their day. And they fought. And then they went to the Constitutional Convention. And he said these words, "Let us now raise a standard to which the wise and honest can repair." He knew that it would fall in disrepair. And it was a promise to them that if they would do the hard thing then, we would do the hard thing now. Let us do the hard thing. Let the honest and the wise rise up now, first to repair themselves, to make sure that they are honest and that they are wise, so they may be worthy to do His work and repair this standard. So once again, the whole world can see the true flame of freedom that man has so rarely enjoyed. There is so much that... Look, do you remember when we were making fun of community organizers? It was, what, 2 years ago? Do you see the power of something as small and as silly as acorn? Out of acorn grows a mighty oak. I know some of the things that I talked to you about, the E4 project and everything else, might seem silly to you. Please don't dismiss them. Right before I walked over here today, I put together a message because I knew I wasn't going to be able the time to be able to tell the whole story. It's a story of a woman who took something I said on this program, something we mentioned just a few times on this program. You may not have even noticed it, but she did. She was listening and she was watching. And she took that and it completely changed her life, along with dozens of others, but it changed one person in particular that she never saw coming. Check her story out at glennbeck.com. Back in a minute.